costume designer is responsible for the visual look of the costumes for a production or for a movie. Costume people is kind of a general term because we have people who do very specific jobs. And I was kind of interested in costumes, interested in kind of the historical end of costume or fashion history is kind of interesting to me. I think I like the control of it. You really are kind of trying to control an environment. So you have a little bit of control in terms of what the world looks like and how it functions and what people do in that world.
So for costuming, it really depends on what you want to work in. Once they start performing, it's either you become a crew member or you're a designer. It really depends. There's many like subcategories that you can work in. I just found out that I really enjoyed working with fabrics and designing things. I really like the design and say drawing something, building something in my head, putting it on paper, making my ideas come to life. It was just really enjoyable for me.
There's trends similar in fashion that there are in theater. It's kind of whatever is kind of being led by the media. The most challenging thing typically is kind of controlling the entire environment. You have to deal with people actually having to be able to move and to be able to function and be able to do things that are not necessarily. You have to make sure that the clothing actually can withstand that and yet still look perfectly normal from the outside.
Costumers usually tend to work with a budget, or it's also how much time you have and how much workforce you have. Our school actually has a very good inventory for costumes. There's definitely a market. It's hard to build a show when you don't have any money. For myself, building like full sets of costumes, say like a jacket or pants, just an entire set, I'd say that's my most challenging part.
The costume designer is a storyteller, and really to tell a really clear, concise story. A costume designer has to be able to really clearly identify who these characters are within an instant. Well, there's a lot you have to care about. You have to care about the fit. In my mind, fit is really important. Clothes need to actually fit and look good on the actor. Not that the character has to look good, but they have to fit. And you have to basically help tell the story in whatever way possible. So if the audience needs to believe that that character is good, then you have to make the audience understand immediately that that character is good.
I think the most important part is probably just making the show look as good as it's gonna look. I think what we want to tell an audience through costume is just sort of the story. Costume for me is really it's really a way to express myself in a way that I can't do through performance. My name is Diego Arias, and I'm a costumer, I'm a theater student.
See, in my mind, everything is a costume. Everything that anybody wears is a costume. My name is Gary Lennon, and I teach costume design in the theater department at Cal State Northridge.